Videotape shot by myself and others over the course of the past 9 months. We believe these videotapes show a clear pattern of bias against the Lisa McPherson Trust on the part of the Clearwater Police Department. This first piece of footage was shot on February 1st of the year 2000. Two German filmmakers had asked me to come along as they shot a documentary about a famous German Scientologist artist who now lives in Clearwater. The day before, the German filmmakers had gone to the police department and asked if it was legal for them to knock on the door and ask for an interview. Wayne Shallor, the police spokesperson, assured them it was. As we headed back to our cars, a man ran out of the house with a hammer.
See that camera? What if I smash that fucker for you? Oh, I'll smash it. You better go. I called the cops. Get the fuck out of here.
Is this?
Get the fuck out of here.
You're on the public?
Yeah, well, guess what? I'm on the public property, too. You wanna start some shit with me?
Hey.
How do you like that?
The man's name was Richard Barnard, and he claimed to be an electrician doing some work inside the house. Barnard struck the camera twice with a hammer and once with a screwdriver. But even more unsettling than the attack from Barnard was the reaction of the Clearwater Police Department.
Police is coming.
The first to arrive on the scene was Officer Terrence Kelly. According to recently released documents, Kelly is one of the police officers who works for Scientology on his days off.
That's okay. Can you explain?
Yes, these are German documentary filmmakers who are here shooting a film about Scientology. They've had several documentaries that have been produced already. They're trying to get an interview with the person in this house here. These two gentlemen, and I came along just to videotape to make sure that nothing happened.
Good afternoon.
Excuse me?
You've been up on...
Yeah, I work for the Lisa McPherson Trust. These fellows came into town and just asked me to come along as backup.
Everybody's ID.
Okay.
Oh, he attacked us. I want to make a report. What's that? He attacked us with a hammer. He made like this.
Yeah, he did. He hit the camera.
Let me see everybody's ID. Driver's license, ID card. What do you got?
There you go. Now, in a moment, I'm going to turn off the video camera after Officer Kelly expresses some concern about it continuing to run. In fact, Officer Kelly was more concerned about my video camera than he was about the hammer attack. After I turned off the camera, Officer Kelly told me it's a felony to record people's voices without their permission. In fact, he threatened to arrest me for the footage you just saw.
Are you still videotaping that?
I told Kelly once again that a man attacked us with a hammer and that I had the whole incident on videotape and I could roll it back and show it to him.
Oh, I'll smash it. You better go. I called the cops.
His response to me was a question. Did you inform that gentleman with the hammer that you were recording audio? If not, that's a felony.
Yeah, well, guess what? I'm on the public property, too. You wanna start some shit with me?
The next officer on the scene was Officer Holzenbach, who also refused to look at the videotape. Holzenbach is one of the regulars working the white lines on Watterson Street. Scientology pays the officers $21 an hour for a total of $178 per day. Holzenbach's total pay for the first 8 months of the year 2000 was $2,848. It wasn't until a sergeant arrived on the scene that anyone took a look at this videotape. The sergeant ordered Officer Kelly to do an investigation, yet Officer Kelly refused to even ask this man for an ID. If he had, he would have discovered that on this day, Richard Barnard gave the police a phony name, a phony birth date, and a phony social security number. It was only later discovered that Richard Barnard had skipped bail on a cocaine trafficking charge. He is now serving a 1-year prison sentence in Key West.
One of the issues that's come up in Clearwater has to do with peacefully protesting. There are people who want to protest Scientology's abuse and deception by picketing.
Scientology reacts very aggressively toward any form of criticism. L. Ron Hubbard's policy was always attack, never defend. In 1967, L. Ron Hubbard wrote that anyone who criticizes Scientology is a criminal.
What are your crimes against not only Scientology, but what are your crimes against humanity? I'd like to know.
Hubbard declared any enemy an SP, or suppressive person. In his fair game policy, Hubbard wrote that an SP may be deprived of property or injured by any means by any Scientologist, may be tricked, sued, or lied to, or destroyed.
I don't think before in the history of this country has an organization struck back at critics in a fashion Scientology has. How do you cope with someone trying to see that you get fired, or ruin your credit, or follow you day and night, or kill your animals?
This is Scientology's enemies list. 47 pages and thousands of names of organizations and individuals that Scientology has labeled its enemies. Right near the top of this list, Scientology certainly has placed the chairman of the board of the Lisa McPherson Trust, Bob Minton. One night in July, the Clearwater police watched as dozens of Scientologists surrounded Bob Minton and tried to provoke an incident.
I never saw such outrageous conduct in my life. They called Mr. Minton virtually every name that could possibly be conceived. They got in his face, impeded him, and the police stood there and watched and did nothing.
The police have just stood by while these protesters have been assaulted by Scientologists. The police have been absolutely unwilling to do anything to protect the protesters.
Scientologists are trying to provoke an incident. Here a shoving match is caught on camera. The Scientologist in the plaid shirt has to be restrained by Scientology security personnel. This footage was shot by Jeff Jacobson, who works for the Lisa McPherson Trust. I came onto the scene shortly afterwards and caught this on tape. Another Scientologist gives some advice. Let them go to you.
Let them do it to you.
If we respond in anger and lash back, the Scientologists hope we'll get arrested. That way they can prove that L. Ron Hubbard